We are the Philippine Retailers Association, the pulse and voice of Philippine retail, recognized as a national organization of retailers and suppliers in the country. The PRA membership represents nearly 80% of the retail industry, which counts all major players like SM, Robinsons, Ayala Malls, Rustan's, Araneta Center, Bench, Mercury Drug, Pen Shop, Wilcon Depot, and more. So why join PRA? It is our goal to get your business in the right track, and to make this possible, the PRA offers exclusive privileges that will surely add value to your membership. PRA members in good standing can enjoy exclusive discounts for their music licensing under PhilSCAP, which is required by the law in compliance with the Intellectual Property Code of the Philippines. As a pulse and voice of retail, we represent your interests on issues confronting the industry, such as bills on the further liberalization of the retail trade, music copyright issue, contractualization, use of thermal POS printers, price tag law, among others. As a member, you can take advantage of special rates and discounts for various educational programs and projects we regularly conduct to help you advance and develop your skills and competencies and help your business grow. There are seminars, conferences, and expos, high-level and exclusive meetings, which will give you infinite opportunities for the growth and development of your business. As part of our commitment to also help retailers in the regions have access to our educational programs, we conduct regional roadshows all over the country. The PRA also conducts a 2-day career expo, which seeks to generate continuous source of qualified candidates for various levels and positions in the retail business. It is strategically held in malls to help generate increased foot traffic and correspondingly help increase sales for the retailers. PRA members enjoy exclusive privileges through the PRA BizCard, a unique program which offers members exclusive discounts, special offers, and other offerings from associate members and other suppliers. At the same time, it also allows a business-to-business transaction between regular and associate members, which is mutually beneficial for both parties, where trust and loyalty can be established. And since we want to add more value to your membership, we are offering the PRA Premier Members Card, a rewards program to serve and incentivize all members who are actively participating in PRA events and programs. We encourage and recognize Filipino retailers who have epitomized the model of success in terms of growth and good ethical best practices through the Outstanding Filipino Retailers and Shopping Center of the Year Awards, or OFRC. To support members in their employee recognition programs, the PRA spearheaded the Retail Employees Day program for the Philippines, which is celebrated every December 12th. With the support of all members of the PRA, we recognize and celebrate retail employees for their role in the retail business. You have exclusive access to information and publications for industry development available in the PRA library. Through your membership in the PRA, we can help grow your network and access to local international networks through our affiliations with large influential business organizations locally and globally, like the Philippine Chamber of Commerce and Industry, the Employers Confederation of the Philippines, the Federation of Asia-Pacific Retailers Association, the Federation of International Retail Associations, and the National Retail Federation, the world's largest retail organization. Such networks provide unlimited benefits of being connected to the local and global world of business and retail. So, who can be a member? All retailers in all formats, shopping centers, as well as suppliers of products and services to the retail industry are encouraged to join and be a part of the PRA community. How to become a PRA member? We have 3 types of membership to cater to your needs. There's a regular membership for those who are directly involved in the retail business. Associate membership for corporations or entities engaged in the business of supplying products or services to retailers. And chapter members who are any organized group of retailers doing business in the Philippines. Being a member of the PRA will give your company endless possibilities and opportunities to give your company what it needs to grow, expand, prosper, and become globally competitive. Because at PRA, our only business is helping your business grow.
Good day to our friends in the Philippine retail industry. This is CJ Hasena. I bring to you again PRA's second digital episode of our podcast called Let's Talk Retail. We have an exciting guest, just like our first episode with Yang Tupas of Ayala Malls. We have another industry leader with us. And I'd like to introduce him to you by starting off. I met him 10 years ago. He was the one behind the Mega World Lifestyle Mall. He grew that business, and now he's the Chief Executive Officer of Alliance Global Group Incorporated. It's one of the Philippines' biggest and diversified conglomerates, which is into food, real estate, gaming, entertainment, restaurants, and he's overseeing many things now, not just retail. He's overseeing strategic planning, financials, operations, external affairs, and he's the representative of the company to various local and international functions. He's one of the country's youngest CEOs, and he's been awarded People of the Year in 2018 by People Asia magazine. On a personal note, he was my ex-boss. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome Mr. Kevin Tan.
Hi,
Hello,
CJ.
Kevin. Hi, Kevin. Good afternoon.
Hi, CJ. Good afternoon. Always a
Okay.
pleasure to see you and talk to you.
Likewise, it's nice to catch up, even
Nice to
virtually.
catch
All right.
you.
Let's
Right.
start off first on a personal note.
Mm,
I asked you
mm,
this one. I've always wanted to ask you.
mm.
Did you feel the pressure of following in Dr. Andrew's footsteps, being the eldest son?
Um, I mean, of course, it's always there. No, my father has obviously set the bar very,
Yeah.
very high. And there's strong expectation, within the family and even within the organization to carry his vision through and even also chart maybe even a new vision for AGI. So obviously all those thoughts definitely continue to resonate in my mind. But it's good that he personally, my father personally tries to keep the environment light, and he's very understanding, and so is the organization, and kind of allows me to, yeah, like I said, charter our own course. Also, encourages new ideas and new thinking, especially in this day and age. So the pressure, if you think about it, is there, but I think the atmosphere is very progressive and very conducive naman for progress. Yeah.
I'm happy you answered that very candidly because a lot of our members in the PRA are second or third generation family members already, and they also feel the pressure or of
Mm,
the people who've started the business. Now, I
mm.
met you 10 years ago and I used to work with you. And you've made many transitions from there. I met you, you were the party
Mm.
boy, and now you're such a family man. Tell me more about this journey of yours.
Yeah, you're so right. You met me when I was not yet married, right?
Yes.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's been an interesting journey. Somewhat like the journey within my career. I started, as you know, in my career, I started as selling condominiums.
Yes, yes.
Then I went into doing malls. And that time I was still single. And then, you know, uh, I remembered that when I started, it was, I took over basically from Miss Girly Taylor, who was
Yes.
handling Eastwood at the time. It was, I think, around 2003, I believe. No? And after that, I focused on, again, still single. I was still focusing on building up Eastwood, and then we built Newport, and then Forbes and then of course you came in, and we built the very successful Lucky Chinatown Mall,
Oh, okay.
um, and then McKinley Hill, and so I think my work life what has happened with my work life is I started malls, and then they started just adding more work to my plate, no. And so, I remember that all of a sudden, I was already assisting Emperador with their global acquisition,
Right.
and then and I remember that time I was tasked to talk to the media, talk to investors about our global acquisitions. Then later on, my role in Meg also expanded. But what I'm saying is that I guess when I transitioned away from the mall and into more strategic work, little less of the on the ground stuff and more the strategic work, I think that's also the same time that I got married, and also life kind of, I wouldn't say slowed down, but it basically changed, no. So I guess I'm just saying it's medyo nag-sync yung ano, no, the personal life and the work life kind of, and eventually uh, in sync together.
Okay. What was your learning when you were selling condominiums? Because you were giving out leaflets, right? I
Yeah,
remember
yeah.
that story of yours.
Illegally in other people's malls.
What was
We
your
didn't have malls
learning there?
then. We didn't
What
have, well,
What was your learning there?
uh, you need to be very patient. It's hard to make a sale that time. It's not easy. I remember I was I started working. That was right after the Asian economic crisis, because I started graduated around about a few years after that the crisis. So real estate sales hadn't really picked up yet, and I was also doing part of that while I was still actually studying. So it was very difficult to make a sale. It's not the same as it was last year, for example, at the
Yeah.
peak of of our real estate industry's success, no, where it was so easy to make a sale. But that time was very difficult. So that's why we had to resort to really these guerrilla tactics, going to people's malls, and I think one of the things is that I learned to accept rejection.
Okay.
People take your flyer, they look at you, they throw it away. So you kind of learn that bit of patience. You kind of learn to be more, have perseverance and commitment to your job. It wasn't an easy road. I think it builds character to be
Okay.
rejected, and to be, people were kind of rude even, no? That's why I have a lot of respect for those that I see, out in the streets, or those guys trying to sell condominiums. They do a very, very tough job sometimes. They work long hours. I think that dedication is and patience is something that I learned through that, no? And of course, you learn to also deal with people. You learn to also understand people more, and I think those are the skills that I have always carried with me throughout my career.
Okay. Now, fast forward. You're now
Mm.
one of the youngest CEOs of a diversified company. All right.
Mm.
Describe your management style in one word.
I'm very open, no,
All right.
open, and I'm always asking questions. Actually, that's the funny thing. I love to ask questions.
Okay.
And I'm always open to new ideas. I love innovation. I like to be surprised with ideas that I have never ever imagined or even heard of.
Okay.
So those are the kinds. That's how I like to manage, especially a diverse group of businesses such as what we have under Alliance Global Group.
So, what are the key challenges now that you see in running such a diversified portfolio?
Well, first is that it's a very, we have very different businesses. We have we're in real estate, as
Yes.
mega world, mall business, townships, offices, etc. Hotels. We're into tourism. We're huge in tourism. We're now the largest hotel operators in the country. We have about 6,500 rooms, as you know. We're into liquor business, which
Yes.
is a very different business from anything of our businesses now. So and that was actually our first business. We celebrated our 40th year anniversary last year. So basically, it's a business as old as I am. And then, we are also into food business. And then recently we've got into new sectors. No, so I think that first is that we're very blessed that we have an excellent executive management team who are running all these businesses, and they are, I look at them as my mentors. There are all of them are more senior than I am. We have as you know, we have a very strong culture in our company of, respecting hierarchy and tenure. That's not just a corporate culture, but that's also a family culture. It doesn't matter if you're a family member or, you have to respect our executives and what, the directions that they've set, and I've learned so much from them. I think that as business unit heads, they obviously understand that in order to continually strive to grow their businesses, they must always reinvent the business, and they at times also opt to disrupt the normal course of things. And I think this entrepreneurial spirit lives within us, and I think that my task is to provide them the tools, the support, and the latitude to pursue this entrepreneurial thinking. And I think also my job is now to help them chart, a course, for the businesses, and even to expand AGI into other sectors. The last 3 years, I'm lucky that the board has supported me in, when I wanted to expand into infrastructure, for example, or through InfraCorp, and through technology as well, through agile digital ventures. So these are, I guess it's still a learning for me. But it's a very interesting journey the last 2 years.
And you're a good student now.
Yes, I think so. I think so. I have to be. I have to learn.
I'm glad you brought the topic of seniority, tenure, because now you have 3 generations together. You have the baby boomers like me. You're a Gen Xer. Then you have your team who are millennials. So how do you piece those 3 different generations together?
Yeah. The majority of our workforce are actually the millennials and the Gen Z. I had a statistic made the other day, and it was about 83% were in that category. And yeah, it's a huge. It's actually quite a big workforce, and we're about 85,000 employees across our entire organization, and that's for all our businesses. I think it's really the young man's world now, and I think it's quite in sync also with our country's demographic. So I think it's a great it's a way to I think it's we need to empower our people and our organization, especially the young people now.
Yes.
And that's what we have been trying to do, and that's why we're trying to that has given us sort of a bit of an edge, this way, in terms of innovation, in terms of strategy, precisely because of that way of thinking. Yeah.
All right. Now, let's talk about the pandemic. Right. We're 7 months into the pandemic. What was the effect of the pandemic to your personal life? On you personally?
Well, it's interesting because a lot of my job before was you go to office and you go to a lot of the events, activities. You represent the company. Of course, now all of that is gone. The work's still the same, if not even more, because this whole video thing, you get to accommodate more meetings actually in one day. You don't have to travel, and they don't have to travel. You have no excuse. If they want a meeting, you can do it today from right at that moment. That you can still say, "Oh, I'm not available. Kumari lang," no? But now you really have to. So we actually have more meetings today than ever. So and the work's still the same, but minus the socializing and all the social events and all the other activities. So I think we have a lot more time for yourself. For myself rather, which means I have more time now for my family, of course, and I have more time now to exercise, to get back to reading, just a lot more time for yourself. So it's really more of just work and self sort of
So you don't
taking care of yourself.
You don't miss the socializing.
well, I do miss it sometimes. I miss social interactions. Who doesn't, right? 7 months of being like this does get stifling. But I've also learned to appreciate, what it has done also for us personally on a personal level. I mean, you never ever experience anything like this, or you never thought you'd experience anything like this. And I tend to just kind of look at the good stuff, no, the advantages, no. But of course, yeah, who doesn't miss going out? Who doesn't miss
Right.
having a night out or dinner out or whatever,
Correct.
or even meeting people outside on regular meetings without any mask or without any
Correct.
protection? No? Who doesn't miss that? Everyone does, I think. Yeah.
Let's pull out a bit the effect of the pandemic on your company, on your companies.
Yes. Well, we definitely it's huge effect on impact. No, our as you know, our mall business was one of the most severely affected because there was not only because of the shutdown, but the consumer confidence is just really on an all-time low right now. There's just so much fear, and there's just so much sort of apprehension right now, no, to come out and to spend, no, and then of course, so there's a huge shift in that. Of course, when you have a situation where offices are not are also sort of not in full capacity, that affects as well the normal business, retail business, no. Um, there's been, on our other businesses like our liquor business, for example, there were liquor bans, so obviously we couldn't sell our products.
Right.
And McDonald's, our food business, again, so many restrictions. There was one point we weren't allowed dine in, and then now you're allowed dine in, but there's so many other things that you have to manage. So we've had to really adjust tremendously. But of course, I think, if I may say so, the priority has always been our people, especially those on the ground. So I think the first thing we ever did was we just organized ourselves, and we thought, how are we gonna make our people, especially our frontliners, because remember, we operate communities and townships, and they remain open. These are where people live, work. Our malls are there, our hotels are there. So, and we had people managing these properties 24/7, even during the pandemic, even during the height of the lockdown. So the first priority is, how do you keep our people safe, and what safety protocols do we put in to also keep our customers, our community, and our stakeholders safe? And that was the number one priority in everything that we do, in all our businesses, and all our facilities, all our stores, all our production facilities, all our malls, all our townships. Yeah.
But did you see it as an opportunity for innovation?
Yes, definitely, I did. I mean, I think we've been making a lot of investments in innovation actually as far back as 2018, when we launched iTownships. And that was an initiative to bring our townships to the next level in terms of building smart homes, creating connectivity, and using technology to make things more seamless. No, so we invested a lot in that. We've invested in a lot in other tech companies as well. We also invested in an alcohol delivery site called boozy.ph. We did that 2 years ago. And we've also invested in an home improvement app, where you can order you can have cleaning services now, especially for COVID. We can do a COVID clean in your homes, and
Okay.
laundry. That's called goodwork.ph. We did that as well last year. And then of course the latest one is this. We have a new venture called Agile Digital Ventures, which is a new company, and we had actually now also launched a new app that we started from scratch called A Roo. So I think all of these investments have really, I think now has really paid off, and we're starting to really see the benefits, when of these investments. Yeah.
Let's talk about your latest investment,
Yeah.
Picaru.
Oh, nice.
I downloaded it. Now, what made you get into Picaru?
Okay. It's a funny thing. It's so the story of Picaru is we actually started that last year, even before the pandemic. So the time that we did this, we thought we did see shifts in customer behaviors in our malls. It was, but it wasn't, people were still going to the malls, but we were starting to see a small percentage of people going in there and just shopping, browsing, and then buying things online. It wasn't a huge number. Most people, I would say 8 out of 10 were still buying stuff and
Okay.
transacting inside their malls. But there were maybe 1 or 2 out of 10 who would go in there and maybe browse and buy. Yeah. So it wasn't big enough to alarm us, but we thought, well, if that's the shift, it can only get bigger. So we said, let's prepare ourselves. So around late last year, um, I had teamed up with the group with a co-founder who was also a part of another app before, no, and then we conceptualized this concept wherein we wanted to enable first and foremost our retail partners first, no. There
Okay.
was no urgent need, as I mentioned at the time, because it wasn't
Yes.
really a huge shift, but we just wanted to be prepared. So we developed the concept, which is, we wanted to enable our physical stores, no. So we started developing the concept, the brand, the app, the technical side of it, and then we started building up the team. Now, obviously, this is not just technology. This is an entire team. We have a company that employs about 60 people, and we have more than 2,000 riders under our group. No, so we of course have to set that up. And so as we were doing that, boom, biglang COVID came.
Yes.
And I think that just expanded our purpose a lot more. No, so I decided, I think this is not anymore just going to be for just our own tenants or our retail partners. I mean, we need to expand this to everybody. And so the purpose now has become, we want to help. First is we want to help all retail partners. Now we want to enable all the physical stores. So one of the things that we're looking at is we only want to work with those with physical stores. So first off, we don't work with resellers. We
Okay.
don't work with those who import stuff on their own. Basically, you got to be registered with the DTI
All
and you
right.
got to be paying your taxes. So that's one of our rules. We only want to work with that. So in other words, we want to work with people with stores that are employing people. Okay, so that's the first thing. Also, and we feel that because the transition was so difficult, we're not just in a delivery app. We're here to really help you transition into this to the new normal. No, I know a lot of this pandemic really caught a lot of retailers and restaurateurs by surprise, and
Yes.
a lot of them were left kind of not knowing what to do next. We are offering a solution. So what we do is the experience, we actually help them not just migrate to the online space. We help them with their packaging. We help them with their product selection. We have an in-house nutritionist actually, because we try to
Oh,
we're very
okay.
big we're very big on food safety. We want to make sure, and we're very big on food quality as well, because when we deliver the products, we want to make sure it looks nice, that the people get it, it's warm. So we give a lot of advice. We have a lot of learnings from our hotels, so we actually apply a lot of that with our retail partners. Aside from that, we give them a lot of analytics. No,
Okay.
we
Okay.
also help you manage your store. Like, sometimes some of the bigger retailers, did you know that you were always out of stock of this particular product? Maybe you didn't know. Well, we're telling you because you were getting a lot of orders of this product. You're always out of stock. Maybe we should do something about it. So, we give them a lot of we give them a lot of advice in that respect, and we give them a lot of advice also on like where their market is coming from,
Okay.
who they are, what their age is, etc. No, so that's something we give them. And now we're also now looking beyond just delivering. We're now, the app is also constantly changing, so we're now thinking of ways of how to bring customers back to your stores. No, reservation system, things like that. So that's the really to be the transition already of our app. And guess what? It's all for free. It's not meaning if you're the tenant, unlike if you
Yeah.
go to a mall, you have to build your store.
Yeah.
This to join us, you don't have to invest anything. It's for free, and we take care of everything, and we basically handhold you through everything. Now that's on the merchant side.
Yes.
Of course, the app was also built for consumers, and mind you, a lot of people, like I said, only 2 out of 10 people were really doing online. So that means 8 out of 10 people before COVID were not even using these apps. So
Yeah.
you get a lot of newcomers, new people who are basically now being forced to basically now go to use technology when they were not even meant to do that. So we had to make sure our app was very easy to use. If
Yes.
you'll use it later on, you'll see our number of clicks is very little,
Yep.
very easy. You know, it's very user friendly. It's very easy to
Yes.
read,
Yes.
very easy to navigate. Because we have to also mind that there's a lot of people that were forced into this situation. I don't want to be ordering. Personally, I never even like to order food online, but because I'm stuck at home, I have to.
Right.
And mind you, have to. And then you're forcing people to use these kinds of technology. So we have to make it very easy for them. So that's the strategy really for Pick A Roo. You know, we made it easy for both our merchants and retail partners, and as well as our customers to migrate into this new reality.
I'd like to have a few more seconds on Pick A Roo. The analytics. I had it in my notes about analytics. Given you operated for the past 2 months, if I'm not mistaken, Kevin, what have you seen as the user base for Pick A Roo? What are the age groups? Where are they located?
Yeah,
Uh,
still
that
still
part.
very yeah, still very young. Our original target market was 25 to around 35, you know, but we've seen that the target market has actually stretched to all the way to 45. So we're getting a lot more, more mature users, I think we're also getting quite demographic. We're also getting like an older demographic, especially for our grocery section. So that's one of the things that we've seen, and it's good because we really made the app also because we knew that even also those, the older generations who definitely were not even thinking of using apps like this. We have to make it easy for them as well, right?
Yes.
So that's none. Number two is our basket size is quite high, so we're now figuring out that it's actually generally an upscale and a very premium market that we're attracting. Of course, later on we're going to be introducing more options in terms of food, so we're going to have a more diverse market. But I think right now it's quite a big. We've noticed that our market is quite premium, which is very much aligned also with the positioning of our lifestyle malls. So those are some of the learnings from this. And if you look at the app, it's very much curated. We're very selective. We
Yes.
don't accommodate just anybody. We're very careful. In fact, actually, we always try to test if the delivery quality of your food or your products, because we want to make sure that that it lives up also to the standards that we have set for ourselves. No. But we work with everyone. In fact, I think next week we're about to launch. I guess I mentioned the Robinsons brands. We're working also with some of the SM brands. Bench Group, of course, is one of our already one of our
Vendors.
retail partners, vendors there, and then we're working with a lot of food operators as well. We're gonna start also delivering appliances soon, so it's an all-in-one app of sorts. Yeah.
Even so, farmers market.
Yes. We're
So
also enabling that.
I saw
Yeah, it's going to
also.
be very diverse. Our categories will be from A to Z. You usually can buy
Yeah.
anything in
Yeah.
our app, and it's on demand. So I mean, you can have it delivered as short as 30 minutes. That's why it was important. I was telling you a while ago, it was important for us to have many branches. So
Right.
if you're a retail partner or a vendor with many branches, we love that. We love
Okay.
that because we onboard all your branches because we need to be near customers to be able to deliver fast. So it's why we like those with a lot of branches and a lot of reach. Yeah.
Kevin, you know what caught my eye also here is all these small brands. You have
Yes.
developmental brands here also.
Yeah.
SMEs. Is there a
Yes, we do.
particular reason you're bringing them into Pick A Roo?
We have a small allocation for SMEs. But I have to tell you, we're also very particular who they are. So they like the malls, they present, and they have to show us how the product is, and it has to be we have to be we call it Pick A Roo approved. And we feel that these SMEs will be, they either have only one outlet somewhere, or they're just about to enter a mall, and basically these SMEs they are all, tax compliance. We're very
Yes.
careful. We make sure that they are BRR compliant and they pay their taxes. That's one of the various requirements. But we also try to use the platform to promote new players, because during this time there's going to be huge shifts, no? People, there will be people who come and go, and there will always be new guys coming off when the dust settles. So we look at this as a way of kind of discovering. And as always, even with our when we as we manage our lifestyle malls, we're always looking for the new
Right.
guys out there, new things.
Right.
I think this is just one of the ways we're able to find them.
My last question for Pikaru. My last question be,
Yeah,
why a
sure.
unicorn? Why a
Ah,
unicorn?
yeah, we toyed with the idea of many. Versus unicorn is cute, no? It's a kid. We wanted a brand that was that could resonate with children, because when in this home life now, we all know the real bosses, the real influencers are the children, no?
Okay.
So we thought, it's got to be something that the kids like, the
Yeah.
kids will resonate, no? And the unicorn is such it's a whimsical character,
Yeah.
and it's so now, no? That's number one. And we wanted it to be like your buddy, a guy who can, unicorn helps you with your shopping, with your giving you advice for what food to eat, so we wanted that, no? So that's why we chose the unicorn, and it's fun, no? And it's cute. So that's really what it is. We went through, to be honest, we had many runs, no? We debated quite a lot internally on what to use, but that was one of the that came out to be
Yeah.
the overwhelming winner.
The cute unicorn. Okay. I see the excitement that you have for digital, but let's step back and talk about your original platform, which was malls.
Yeah,
Do you think, two questions for that? Do you think malls will be irrelevant in this country?
not at all. Not at all. I think malls will continue to be, our, you know, places of interest, our most favorite place to be in. I think we're just going through a very big transition right now. And I think this is all temporary, but I can't imagine a world where the physical and the digital will not be merged together. I mean, even if you look at big tech companies abroad, Amazon, Alibaba, they've all invested in brick and mortar as well. Amazon has bought into Whole Foods.
Yes.
Alibaba, when I visited their headquarters in Hangzhou, they have a mall, actually, a small mall, not a very,
Yes.
it's not a very big one, but they're trying their best also to. Then they have a Taobao store there, and they feature some of their Tmall tenants there as well, or vendors there as well. So they're also trying to recreate that experience. And by the way, they also have their own supermarket, by the way,
Yes.
a full scale Hema, no? So even the big tech companies are actually starting to go into brick and mortar, and I think it's time also for brick and mortar to go into the tech. And I think I can see a world where both will actually be sort of be working together hand in hand. I don't think one can thrive without the other. And now in the Philippine context, like I said, malls have now become more than just a shopping destination. Like, and when we started, we created the lifestyle mall. I don't know if we created it, but we definitely were one of the first to do the lifestyle mall concept. It's a mall that's not really dedicated just to for shopping. It's malls for entertainment, malls where you can meet your friends and have a night out. Not so, malls that are not extremely huge, but just right for the community. I mean, those are the things, and I think that's going to be the way for the future. And I think that malls will continue to be that. No, of course, after this we get through this this pandemic.
Okay, let's talk about our retail partners. What are your thoughts on the key traits for merchants who will survive this pandemic?
I think during this time, those retail partners or retailers that can demonstrate an extreme amount of flexibility, will definitely, recover faster. I think it's time for the retailers, to maybe diversify their products and services, or if they're already diversified, maybe spend some time to really study which parts of their business are more resilient than others, then maybe pivot towards that in a big way, or sort of refocus in a big way. I think there are still lots of pockets of opportunities out there, but it's up to you have to discover it. No. Secondly, I think that there's also a lot of creativity that has to happen during this time. Remember, everything is sort of on a reset now, so you can pretty much start from scratch. So there's a fair bit of reinvention and reimagination that needs to come into play. And I think it's time to sort of also start thinking out of the box, or maybe even just throw that box away, because everything is start from scratch anyway, right? And last but not least, I think so we always say it's innovation. No, I think the faster you can embrace innovation, the more ahead you'll be in terms of adapting to this new reality. I'm always quite impressed with some of these new vendors we have at A Roo. These are first time to the online space, first time in an on-demand sort of structure or business, and the kind of risks they take and the determination they have, it's quite impressive. And I think that's the kind of attitude that you should have in this time of pandemic, because as you know, it's not easy to migrate. It takes a certain amount of mileage for you to be able to kind of discover or to improve your business online. So again, the sooner you get into it, the more ahead you will be in adapting to this new reality.
Very nice. The words of the pandemic: pivot, innovation, out of the box. And it's more than 30 minutes already, Kevin. Time flies so fast. Thank you so much for spending time with us in our second podcast. My last question will be, what is your wish for 2021?
Well, of course, I wish all of this will be over soon. Whether it be through a vaccine, or maybe just a certain level of acceptance already that this is a new way of life. We've been in this for 7 months. I think by this time we should have already gotten used to it. We should have already learned how to live with this. And so I really hope that our consumers will get over the anxiety and start to come out again, and start to spend again. I also wish that I also have a wish for the industry. I wish that the industry survives this, especially our retailers, our beloved retail partners. I hope they get through this, and of course, I wish everybody good health.
All right. Again, thank you so much, Kevin. I hope to see you one of these days for lunch in our mall. We'll catch up. All right. Thank you again.
Thank you. Thank you again, CJ.
You're very welcome, Kevin. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for joining us for our second podcast featuring Mr. Kevin Tan, the CEO of Alliance Global Inc. He's been very good, generous with his insights, and we're preparing now for our third podcast, and we'll see you then. Keep safe, everyone, and have a good week ahead.